Hey guys, welcome back here to my channel. Long time no see. It's been really a long time since I actually uploaded something, but there's a few reasons for that, to be honest. I kind of wanted a break from always putting out videos. I always felt pressured to like have a content put together to post at least once a week, and I maybe wasn't posting stuff that was exactly what I wanted to post. I was running out of inspiration with things as well, and then my channel kind of ended up just being like a host channel for the Diorama Challenge, which is now over on Astrotron's channel and has been there for a few months now. Um, and that was kind of the only content I was really posting, and it wasn't really showcasing what I do like personally in the game. It was kind of showcasing other people, which is cool. I love that as well. But I wasn't really doing anything for myself on the channel anymore. But my aim now, kind of with this little build or this video, is to not put pressure on myself with having to make a video once a week. I just kind of want to do it as I feel like I want to. Like today, I really felt like I'm going to post a video, I'm going to build something, and just kind of take it from there. Like I feel like I don't really work well under the pressure of, you know, building and always creating, and sometimes I'm not making the best stuff. So I'm going to take my time with this one. If I post a video sometimes, cool. If I don't, also cool. Hopefully you guys can follow along, and you know, I hope you enjoy it as well. As well as that, I actually got a new job as well, which took up a lot more of my hours, so I didn't really play. And there's other things as well, like I've been playing PlayStation and you know, working more and hanging out more with friends, etc. And I just didn't really play. Also my computer as well, as we all know from previous videos, it doesn't really handle the game as well as I would like. It does when I'm playing and not recording, but when I'm recording, it just, the frame rate sometimes just isn't worth playing. And also I feel like the game as well needed some updates and stuff. There hasn't really been much going on with the game, to be honest, but like I would like to see some new things added into the game, like a new DLC, which hasn't happened. That would have maybe kept me playing a little bit more maybe, but I am actually going to build something today. I felt inspired, I guess, and I just wanted to jump on and build something. And originally I wanted to do a arrow looping coaster, like a classic mega looper, like Viper from Six Flags Magic Mountain, Shockwave or the Great American Scream Machine, those kind of coasters. And obviously I ran into an issue which is probably achievable with track edit or something, but I just haven't got the patience for it. And that's, the arrow loops used to travel up like an incline and then do the loop on top, and so that's not possible in the game because you have to do a loop from a flat piece of track. And then the loops look a little bit, you know, out of proportion or something. I did build one, it wasn't great, I didn't like it that much and I scrapped it. And then I decided to stick with the arrow theme, that I would go and build an arrow suspended coaster. Now, I never build this coaster type ever, and so that was kind of something cool for me to do, something new. I haven't done that before, and I thought, why not give it a tackle. I'd also recently been watching some like problematic coaster documentaries on EltoroRyans YouTube channel. Awesome page, check it out. He posts like these documentaries. They range from like a half an hour to an hour long, about coasters from the past, etc. And if you're a coaster nerd like me, then you'll absolutely love them. And he did one about the Bat, which was at Kings Island, which is the original arrow suspended coaster, which featured unbanked track because they thought they don't need to, because you know the trains swing, but that actually caused so much stress on the track that it was cracked. It had loads of problems on it. There was so many things wrong with it, and they removed the ride. He also has a documentary as well that he made about the Big Bad Wolf at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, which I would love to have ridden. I never got a chance to, but it looked absolutely awesome, and I was really inspired by those to kind of go into the game and just try and create a really classic looking arrow suspended coaster. They generally use terrain, so what I did was actually I opened up Scenario Editor and I just clicked on random generate, and I just kind of let it give me a map, because I find sometimes looking at a blank flat map, you just don't know where to start. And I felt like if it gave me some terrain, I could kind of plan it around the terrain, and that's the kind of approach I took with this one. I have ridden a few suspended coasters. I've done Ninja at Magic Mountain, I've done Iron Dragon at Cedar Point, and the Vampire at Chessington. Is there any others? A Vortex, Canada's Wonderland. And I actually really enjoy them. I think they're really fun. I mean, Iron Dragon wasn't my favourite. It was a little bit boring, to be honest. Vortex was really fun. And also Ninja was really fun as well. I really enjoyed that. And I just wanted to do something along those lines and use the terrain to kind of build this coaster. They generally use a lot of sweeping curves and kind of S-bend transitions to kind of get those trains swinging. I did kind of realize that I gave myself maybe a map that's slightly too small. This is 30 times 50 squares, and I should have gone for like a 50-50 or something, I think. But anyway, limitations sometimes help with creativity, I guess. So my plan now is just kind of bang out a layout of some sort, the one that I'm happy with, that's not, you know, too short. And generally these coasters, not always, but sometimes they have more than one lift hill. And so I kind of wanted to include 2 lift hills and have the first half of the ride be a bit more tame, and then the second half of the ride be a bit more quick and a bit more intense with some bigger drops and sweeping curves. So now I'm just going to jump into a time lapse of the video just because to speed the process up of this layout, and I can talk a little bit more about what's going on. And also I'm a bit rusty with the game, like especially with the buttons and what does what. I can't really fully remember. It's been really a long time. I don't know if this would be the best thing I've ever built, but I just wanted to do something that I wanted to do, something that I found interesting when I was building it. And like I said earlier, I don't actually ever build this coaster type, so it was really interesting for me to go in and actually have a little play around with it. So I was kind of finding myself following the terrain a little bit, and then there were some areas where the train kind of slowed down, and I realized I needed to kind of dip down more lower in the terrain. So I did actually edit the terrain that the game generated for me a little bit more, just to kind of get some more deep valleys and stuff. Gonna add some more water in there again, because I think it's quite nice, especially on Big Bad Wolf, which used to be at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. It really kind of did this big swooping drop over the water, and that's something I really wanted to try and do as well, so I kind of did it in a couple places. What I'm really excited though with this one is to do all the support work, because it's actually very unique. They have these really thick columns with these I-beam kind of structures coming out and holding up the track, and that would be quite nice with these huge footers, which I can create using some like shapes and stuff, so that would be quite fun. And yeah, and also doing all like the lift hill details, that kind of stuff. You know, I really like to focus on realism, if you're familiar with any of my other builds that I've done. And so I'm going to do the same with this one, of course. I'm going to try and get a nice realistic layout first, and then go in at the end with all the scenery details and kind of try and make something that resembles what it would look like in real life. The layout at the moment is kind of okay. I'm going to edit the end a little bit here. I've got this nice kind of swooping drop that goes kind of to the left and then to the right to kind of get the cars swinging. Nice little swoop that up into like a helix, and then kind of wanted it to dip down here before it hits the second lift hill, but it's quite a bit of a dull moment where you want that curve to drop down. So I'm going to lower the terrain a bit there and have that kind of swooping curve there, drop a little bit further down the terrain, and then I need to take the train up into like a small trim break before turning the corner before the second lift hill. The thing with these coasters in real life is they have to hit brakes before lift hills, because the cars are swinging and the cars need to kind of come to a standstill before they engage with the lift. The newer ones, they kind of have like a running guide wheel on the bottom of the cars, and that would engage with like a trough on the lift hill, and that would stop the cars from swinging on the lift. The very original version, the Bat, actually had like a brake fin on the bottom, and if the cars were swinging, the brake fin wouldn't line up with the brakes, and they would be damaged. It didn't always work and caused a lot of problems on the coaster. I learned that from EltoroRyans video about the Bat, which was super interesting, so I do recommend you check it out. But yeah, the newer ones are much more efficient with running the trains and everything. They ended up putting the brake fins on the actual track itself, not on the floor, which is, I can't even believe the company Aerodynamics who built these coasters, I can't believe they actually thought that was a good idea when they first did it. But they were the pioneers of coasters, and they really kind of set the standard for their time. I just wish they had the technology at the time to do what they were trying to do, because they would have been so successful. But unfortunately they did everything by hand, and they didn't do the computer stuff that B&M does. And then obviously companies like B&M and Intamin came along and started to use their computer technology to build coasters, which obviously kind of far more superior to the aerodynamics coasters, which are all kind of done by eye and by hand, which is why some of the transitions on those coasters are super funky. And if you've ridden some of them, they're not the most comfortable rides, and which kind of makes them also really unique. So I kind of do enjoy them as well for the nostalgia. So the kind of final part of this layout now is the second half. After the second lift hill, we've got this nice big drop over the valley, and we're going to do this big kind of overbank curve there, drop down, kind of go over and do like an S kind of shape with the coaster track, and then kind of follow up behind the overbank and back to the station. What I love about these coasters in real life, and I used to see this on Vortex at Canada's Wonderland, is that when the train hits the station, the whole train, even though it's come to a stop, all the cars are still swinging. I think that looks so cool. So I'm going to kind of try and get that at the end of this layout so that it comes up a hill into the brakes, and then all the cars will be swinging before going back into the station. And like I said, the map's a little bit small, and I've not left myself that much room to do the station, transfer track, the queue line, that kind of stuff. The transfer track actually for these are super unique. They're not always the same. I believe Iron Dragons is actually below the station. And there's like this funny kind of winch system going on there. I can't 100% remember. And then I've looked at some pictures of Big Bad Wolf, and I believe there's like a funny transfer section straight after the station. So I've kind of gone with that one just because of space. And I'm going to try and tie it in somehow. And obviously it might not be 100% realistic with how I do it. I'm going to try and make it look like it would actually work and make it look realistic, but sometimes there are limitations within the game, etc. Also, if you're wondering how I was doing diagonal curves in this layout, I did actually have Track Edit and Coaster Anarchy installed, and those of course allow me to do diagonal curves. Very tricky to use. I wouldn't do it if you're a first time player, but yeah, make sure you go back every time and delete the piece again and reinstall it in the track, otherwise the train will just come off the track. But that is the layout done. I'm going to let the trains run around a few times so you can see it. I need to color the coaster, I need to name the coaster. Also something that I noticed, that I did the station maybe one tile too short, because quite a lot of these coasters have, I think I've got 5 cars and they used to have 6, although Ninja at Magic Mountain has 7, so maybe it does vary depending on the coaster design, so it's not something I'm too bothered about. But I've got 5 cars on my trains on this one, so I've actually got 3 trains running, but I'm going to put it down to 2 because the train always comes to a stop on the second block break. That's something I don't really want. And yeah, if you've got any good name suggestions, hit me up in the comments. I kind of was looking for something along the lines of the original coasters, like the Bat, Ninja, those kind of things. So if you have an idea, that'd be cool. And I'm just going to color it for now red, because most of these coasters were red. I feel like all aerodynamics coasters were red. Magnum, the big one, Ninja, and you know, there's so many others, but yeah, I just think it's such a classic aero coaster color, so I'm going to go with that with some black supports. So that'd be cool. But yeah, I'm going to let the trains run around a few times, let you have a look, see how it goes, and then we'll hit you in another video soon where I will do some custom support work and lift hill supports and kind of build a station, that kind of stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. Hope you guys are as well. But thanks for watching. If you've been a follower of mine for a while and you've wondered where I've been, here I am. I'm really sorry I haven't posted for a long time, but I hope you can kind of understand why I haven't. And I look forward to making some videos, and I'm feeling a little bit inspired again now, so I'm happy to make a little bit more content. So those were the trains running around, and now the last thing to do is just to add a little piece of track for the transfer track. And looking at pictures of Big Bad Wolf, there was like a little piece on top of a track, and it looks like it was on like a rotation mechanism, so that the track could flip upside down and then the trains could go to like a side transfer area or something. I haven't really found that many pictures, so I don't really know 100% how it works or what it really looks like. But what I'm going to do is take the steel coaster, and because the suspended coaster doesn't have a hitbox above the track, I can actually put this coaster alongside it, which is perfect, and then kind of make like an S-bend type of curve, so that if it would flip, the S-bend would then go to the right side of the track, which means it has to go to the left on top, so when it flips it goes to the right, and then there'll be another piece of track that kind of goes off flat at the side where they can store a train. That's the kind of idea I was going for there, and then I need to build like a framework and mechanism above it so that could look like it would work in real life. So I'm just gonna kind of go with that idea for the transfer track. But thanks for watching. I guess this is a sort of a comeback video. I don't know, whatever you want it to be. But I hope you like it, and I'm looking forward to building more, like I said. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, maybe consider subscribing. I do really appreciate it, even though I haven't posted for a while. But I will post, don't worry. And give me a thumbs up as well if you've enjoyed the video, and leave me a comment down below. I try and answer them all normally. So yeah, peace out. See you next time. Bye.